Alright, that's a mean look to come into. You got Timbo's fucking Batmobile on the screen. I like it. I'm a big fan. Alright, so this was a big matchup for us because our previous record against this team was, I think, 1-3. So, getting some early pressure, really nice. Gat with oh, I thought he was going to go for a controlling touch. Decides to kind of just bang it back in there. This is a pretty good rotation up. Timbo playing in and Ven supporting him. Ven choosing to take over for Timbo because he had momentum. I like that. Gat should run this back into the corner and buy some time. Timbo sets up in net. That's pretty good. Alright, so I'd say the problem here was how we set up in net. Timbo kind of rotated into center of net, and sometimes it's just better to get a little bit more in your rotation. If you do tend to come center, then posting up so that your car is perpendicular to the net, so it's parallel with the back line, basically, so that you can quickly accelerate across the goal. Because you can cover this direction by jumping very quickly, but covering the horizontal direction, the vertical is very easy by jumping. The horizontal boosting is the best way to cover the net. So Timbo kind of maybe mispositioning, so he should have been a little bit more back and then accidentally own goals. For Gat, I probably would have tried to control this with my car just a little bit more. I kind of hit it up the wall and then tried to meet it, and it was very easy for them to read you. If you control it, then you get the option of flicking it out. But, I mean, play in the corner should be pretty easy to control for us. Again, I did really like the pressure at the beginning of the game, so that was good. Double boost kickoffs. I'm not a big fan of double boost kickoffs for this exact reason. Gatman had a stalling kickoff, and Canadian was right there for it. Now, it didn't get punished for it, but those are things that could be bad. Then doing a really good job of picking that one up on his face and putting it into the goals. Double boost kickoff by them on this time. I think boosts are fucked up. Paying attention to the boost, not paying attention to what actually happened to play. Okay, so yeah, Gat had to get there quickly. If Gat could have gotten there a little bit faster, he might have been able to come on the backboard. Reading the ball down off the backboard, I think, is very easy. But he was just busting ass to get back very quickly. Again, maybe Timbo. Oh, he's going for the squishy save. Okay. Alright. Definitely an option. I think they've done a pretty good job of setting themselves up to, I don't know, exploit us not being prepared on defense. Can't see my dashboard. There we go. What are you doing? I like my notification. My notification's good. A lot of people in the corner. I'm not a big fan of sending all three people into the corner. And then this is a little bit awkward. What's up, Hubbling? So it seems like game one, we're maybe a little shaky playing with each other. I don't know about how the scrims went. Maybe we just weren't quite sure how Canadian and Gum were going to play together against us. Not a great shot by Ven, but it does really force them to stack their net hard. And then here, we just don't have anybody retreating back. I think this is something that I attribute a lot to how I reviewed Gatman last season. Oh. Okay, so partially to I thought Gat was forcing himself to get this boost. He got caught up in net So what's actually happening right now is our third man is committing, which is really good if you want to stay offensive and aggressive. Is feel free to commit your third man, try and get those goals, make sure it happens. But what you have to hope for is that any clear that they get trickles down into your zone or goes into the corner. Oh, Steez is Crazy Hill? I thought... I'm going to mess it up every time. Name association, not me. So anyway, what you have to hope is that like the ball trickles down the field or it goes into the corner. Anything that goes almost directly towards your net is going to be punished with a goal. So the commit is by Timbo. I don't think it's awful though. What I was going to say though is sometimes Gat likes to stay up in the rotation, so I assumed he had gotten that boost and kind of just like waited for a pass potentially, but that wasn't the case at all, so I was wrong. Yeah, so they just did a really good job of clearing the ball down the field and then putting it into our net. And that's a choice. I mean, we could be that aggressive or we could just be a little bit more defensive. I would say 9 times out of 10, maybe even 7 times out of 10. 7 times out of 10, try and just stay a little bit more aggressive in an RSC game. Send the third man. Interesting, just kind of buying time, hitting into the corner. Good speed by Gat. Then maybe going for ball control. That's a weird bounce. I think a pass infield would have been a little bit better than that bounce hit. Wow, that could have been a goal very easily for them. I like that Ven was ready for that. Hopefully he called out Timbo, or he just knew Timbo was going to get there. A little bit of a double commit. Maybe we're a little bit awkward. Good rotation back by Ven. Ooh, lots of boost grabs from Ven, though. I don't think you need to grab that much boost. Gat missing the 100. Gets a good clear, though. He's going to go back for the 100. Maybe bad positioning by Timbo there a little bit. Pushing forward, and the ball went behind him. Good reset though, getting ourselves back on offense. Ven maybe coming in a little bit too close behind Gat here, so I'm going to focus in on this one because I think this is something that a lot of us do, and we don't realize that we're doing it. So Ven is trying to help Gat move the ball up the field, right? What he needs to know though is where is Gat going to go after flying off the wall and landing, and this just comes down to knowing your teammates. Does Gat go for the ball? Does Gat go for the demo? I think the demo's a great play here. Ball, though, and boost is very tempting, and I could imagine that he would go that direction. So if Ven also goes this direction, that means we're going to have 2 players right on top of each other in the same corner. Now, I like the touchdown field by Ven. Maybe putting on net might have been better, but at least it was keeping the ball out of our zone. And then what do we do in this position? So we've got 83 boost, so I don't really need to retreat and go get boost and let other people get into the play. Maybe we could just hold space here if Gatman's going to follow the ball. Or if Gatman's going to cut out of the play, then we definitely need to be there for the ball. So I think this is probably the preferred path for most people, and then we just got to let Gatman know to not chase after the ball here. So I think that kind of comes down to communication. This is just kind of a difficult spot. If you see Gat go for this boost, you can just tell him, hey, grab boost, don't touch the ball, which means that the challenge here is going to be a little bit easier. Then maybe going a little bit hard into the wall, whereas Canadian looks like he's probably going to try and drop this behind everybody. So with one move, Canadian's able to beat 2 people. And it looks like Timbo's lining up to keep this one in the zone. So I'm kind of interested to see how this plays out. But something to keep in mind is how we double commit and where we go in a play and how do we get beat by the other team. And there's one where by sending 2 people to the corner, 1 person was able to get by everybody. This is Premier. So this is some 1600 to 1800 level play. Good save back on defense. See, I like Gat's play there. Even if he doesn't touch it, it forces the other team to kind of hang back and wait to see what Gat's going to do with it. What's up, Polar? How you doing, man? Good clear out again by Ven. This time Ven doesn't follow Gat into the corner and just kind of waits mid. Obviously a little bit easier to see on that one where things were going. Ooh, I like the cut infield there by Ven, but Gum read that really well. Interesting pinch. So, I don't know if you guys see this, but this is something that on the lower levels I've been talking about a lot. Ven gets to clear down the field. Look at where Gatman is. Look at where Timbo is. Timbo is the support for both these players, and these two players are moving up on offense. Two-person, two-man clears, two-man offenses, they're huge. What's up, Mac? And then having a support player that's kind of like ready to catch the ball as they send it back, and so that you can send it back in and start that two-man offense and pressure again. It's so huge. It was a great play by Ven and Gat moving up, trusting him. Interesting to get that pinch goal like that. But we would not have gotten that play if Ven had carried the ball up all by himself and our second man wasn't there. If our second man was lingering back on defense and our third man was lingering back on defense, I mean, it just does not do anything for us. Gatman with a wide open net, and he misses it. Interesting. You don't see that very often. Finishes that one, though. Alright. Just a few seconds later. And that's something I saw a lot in Snap-Its. I see it sometimes at Prospect as well, is one person will take it up the field all by themselves, and no one else will move up the field with them. That's an incredible play. Yeah, rotations are tight, and a double commit in this usually doesn't end up getting punished just because one person will usually touch the ball. That was a great touch by Gat. It's just a shame we couldn't get the shot. So, like, even if you do double commit, you're flying usually in different directions, so it ends up being fine almost every time. Interesting block. I'm not going to review the whole series now. I'll probably just pick out two closer matches. Wow, 11 seconds in, we get the goal. And unfortunately, I'm not going to do any more replays for right now. I've got some family things to do. Looks like 2-0, 1-0, 1-0. So, I don't know. I'll just grab up game 4, I guess. But I will be back on later to do some more. I think I'm doing Prospect around 9. I don't know if I'll be streaming that or not. Alright, so this was a huge series for us because we 4-0'd them, and they 1-3'd us, or 3-1'd us, I guess, technically, in the first time that we played them. That's a good little pass by Ven. I don't know if everybody saw that, but off of the kickoff, Gatman loses it left, right? So Ven has a couple options here. One, he could dribble, and I'm not going to write these all out, never mind. I'm just going to say it. One, he could dribble and take the ball upfield. Two, he could go for, like, it used to be called a tap and smash. I don't know what you guys call it now. He just like bangs the ball up into the air and then launches up to follow it and then tries to shoot it himself. It's good, but at this level it's read very easily. And unless you're doing a double tap, it's just unlikely you're getting a goal off of that. Or three, he could look for a pass to his teammate, and if he launches the ball somewhere over here, Timbo, who just grabbed up 100 boost, also can meet that ball. And so that's what he does. He delivers the pass. And all of those options are good, but I do really like playing with teammates, and setting up Timbo for that was really good. So there's Gat as the third man committing, and this time it takes him a little bit longer to get the ball down the field, so it's not punished again, which is important. Versus the time Timbo committed, and we did get punished. Now, I'm not saying Timbo did it worse than Gat, it's just different situations and different ways to maintain pressure. Timbo's was very high risk, high reward. The reward was the goal for us. The high risk was if they get a clear down the field, there's a chance that they could get a goal too, and they just happened to get it. Ooh, Ven with the ceiling play. Over to Gat. Love it. I think that's something Gat should probably be scoring. So now that we know Ven has that like in his repertoire, that's something that Gatman can get a little bit more used to and comfortable with. Like, hey, my teammate does this, and he goes for these passes. I should be lined up and ready for a pass. So that'd be something for next time. These replays where the boost gets grabbed and then it doesn't disappear, it's just killing me. It's awful. Spaghetti code, man. Wow. It's a really good play by Gat. Unfortunately, doesn't get the touch on it. I don't know how Timbo called for that, but it seemed to make a lot of sense to Ven to not hit the ball. Okay, Ven put in a good spot for him to get another read on it. He'll have an interesting recovery here. Decides to go for back corner boost. Lets Timbo take over. Look at where Ven positions, though. He's positioned at that front post, waits for the ball to come to him. So often I see a lot of our lower tiers go into the corner and try and figure out how it's going to bounce. Instead, Ven just waits here as the ball bounces, then he aerials and goes for it. Now, it was a very difficult aerial that he went for, but, I mean, positioning was the key. Good tap to the corner. Call those out so that your teammates know where they're going. Putting it back right. Something like that. I think I would have gone on the wall there, but Ven does a good job of aerialing for it and then landing on the wall to get one more touch with the clear. Good speed by Gat, meeting Ani for that. A little tap to the left. I like that. Timbo getting there would have been really good. We would have gotten a very good clear. Gat maybe not at a very good spot to clear that. I think he probably should have just dribbled into the corner and just bought a little bit of time instead of putting it dangerously out into the middle. Again, Gat in a weird spot, but interesting. Okay, so we got a double commit out of them, which is good. Gum is just out of boost, man. He's gone for like 4 aerials. He's missed boost multiple times. Good rip by Ven. That's a little bit worrisome. A little bit of a double commit. It was a desperation save though, so we're gonna see that happen from time to time. No. Boys, upstairs. Upstairs. I like that. Play it off the backboard, see what they do with it. I don't know that Gat necessarily needed to jump. I think it was pretty obvious the other team had it. Ven with a, maybe was that a flip reset? Very creative plays coming out. No, not a flip reset. Wait, what the shit? It had to have been. How did he? Yeah, I guess so. Interesting. Unfortunately, doesn't leave the ball in a great spot. When you're pinching it that close to the wall, it's almost certainly going to go either to the far left or the far right. It's very difficult as the closer you get to the wall to give yourself space to actually give a good pass. And by good pass, I mean something that just like kind of bounces off the backboard and buys some space for your teammate to shoot it down and into the net. Gat opting for boost over getting the ball quickly towards their net. Ven dead. Gat trying to do flip reset stuff. I think playing to our teammate would have been a good choice there. Timbo was in a pretty good spot. Probably utilize him. The one I'm thinking about is what Justin was doing to get Fireburner to his goals before Energy did some changes, and I think now he's still doing it, but like he brings it straight to the wall, bounces it off, jumps on the wall, and jumps back to the ball and is flipping it back directly center instead of utilizing the corner. Here, Gat brought it all the way up to the ceiling, and that just bought so much time for the defense to figure out what they wanted to do, and didn't deliver a pass. He brought it straight at the net and was doing flip reset stuff. I think that maybe cutting here, getting up above the ball, and just bringing it straight back center might have been a little bit better play to set Timbo up, especially since Timbo was there. Timbo may be playing a little bit defensively. Oops. So maybe, I don't know if it's comfort or just getting used to playing with different people, or you guys talked about something where Timbo's going to be back more often than anything else. But here we've got an opportunity for Ven to move the ball out, and Gat's kind of locked up with Gum, and it just made a play. I think Timbo to move up and tell Gatman to stay back, and that could just be as I'm with Ven, or I'll push up with Ven, something like that, is going to be the important one. So as Ven's going to move this ball up, I think Timbo moving up would be really good. Because now look, Gat's back, Timbo's back, and now the ball's center. And just that little bit of difference in space would have been huge for Timbo to get to that ball before Oni. Do I have time for snippets review later? Might not be tonight. We'll see what I can do. Big rotations back from Timbo and Gat, kind of leaving Ven alone on offense. It's not the worst thing because we can kind of just reset and get back into the swing of things, but I would prefer if we could try and keep a little bit closer to our teammates. Ven definitely not coming away with the ball here. He's kind of locked up with 3 people, but just that separation is what's meaningful to me. Again, Timbo kind of leaning back on defense, and getting big boosts is important, but I think that was an opportunity again where we could have been kind of pushing with our teammates. That's a great lob pass. I would like to see our clears go to somebody and be a little bit more meaningful, but we do a really good job of kind of resetting back on defense and making sure that the offensive attack doesn't have a lot of momentum or potential. That's a little scary. Rock solid defense by Ven, though. And Timbo's had some really good defensive plays. Gat putting 1 or 2 balls into the corner as well, trying to make sure that their offense doesn't get a very good attack. Yeah, and here's the thing. If you can make a play to a teammate, it's great. If you can make a play to space that a teammate can get to, it's pretty good. And if you can make a play into space just to buy time, that's fine. So that's kind of like the order of it. Is great, good, fine. Clearing to the other team is just bad. So yeah, this is a good play right here. Again, Ven off the ceiling, doing some pretty good things. You're not going to always read those. Timbo maybe looking for a demo. Opts to grab the far corner boost. Look at this. He's just got complete vision of Gatman. Hits him with a banger of a pass. Really good play by Gat. And Gat putting it in a difficult spot for them to read. And maybe a little bit too close to the center of the net, but I don't know that he knew how fast that Timbo pass was going to come. Just did a really good job of firing a shot about as quick as he could. Alright, any questions, thoughts before I end this stream? Because that's going to be my premiere review. What's the next replay? I'm going to be doing Prospect, but I don't know that I'll be live for it. Last time I went live and streamed to Discord, it didn't work very well, and I'm planning on having those guys review and be in voice with me in Discord. Yeah, glad you could be here, Crazy. I find that it's difficult watching replays where you're not in them, but I think that there is always opportunities to learn something. I know for me, I used to watch a lot of Johnny Boy videos, and I learned a lot, and it was never me in those replays, obviously. I'm not good enough to ever be in those replays. And I don't mind, I'll do Premiere again another time if you guys found that worthwhile. I didn't even see it twist. Ben showed up as well. Cool. I could do Premiere again. I'll probably do Premiere this weekend then, since you guys are up. Alright, cool guys. That'll be it for now. And yeah, sorry for not pinging you. I thought about doing an add everyone. Maybe just hit that bell or whatever the fuck it is to follow and you get alerted when I go live. Alright, later.